Hello, I'm Mike Cunningham with Country Gardens Farm, and we're in Newnan, Georgia. And for those of you that don't know us, we raise grass-fed beef, free-range eggs, raw cow's milk, shiitake mushrooms, and worm castings, and certified natural grown vegetables. And we're in our vegetable garden today. In fact, we're here with the sugar peas. We're going to talk about those today. You know, there's something about growing your own food, and I would encourage all of you, just on whatever scale that you are, that you would try to grow some of your own food. There's nothing that's satisfying for the soul and satisfying for the body to grow nutritious, healthy food. Now, these sugar snap peas were planted back in February because they have a small window of opportunity when they're going to mature. They really don't like it in the hot summer here in Georgia. Really, I don't like it in the hot summertime here in Georgia either. It's too hot for me. But they'll actually die when it gets up in the 90s for a very long period of time. So, in our climate, we start them here in February. What we do is that we're growing these peas from seed, and there's something a little bit unique about peas. They're in the legume family, so they have to, or they don't have to, but they do produce nitrogen from the atmosphere. And they do that through a biological process with a specific bacteria that you can inoculate them with. So we buy our seeds from Johnny's Seed Company. They have a great catalog. They give you lots of good information. And they also sell the bacteria, or they call it the inoculant, to put on your seeds. So we just moisten the seed when we get them in, and then there's a powder, the inoculant's in powder form, and we sprinkle that along the seed, and it sticks to the seed. And when we plant that, then we're assured that bacteria that they need to fix the nitrogen is in the soil. Now, more than likely, it's there anyway, and it may be in your soil, but it's a cheap insurance policy to be sure that you don't miss out on that unique thing about peas, that they can absorb nitrogen out of the atmosphere. So we start off and we plant our peas in little cell packs. We do that sometime in February, about mid-February. You might think about sweet peas in Georgia, planting them about the time of Valentine's Day. And it takes about 60 days for them to mature, so they can mature during our spring season, and we're able to harvest several times before it gets too hot and they die in the summer. So we start the seed in those cell packs using our soil mix that we have, which has worm castings in it. We have worm beds on the farm, and we take the worm castings, which is what the worms leave behind, worm poop, and we mix that with organic potting soil that we have, and that is what we start our seeds in. We can plant these about every 3 inches. So we have raised beds, and so we make a little trench and put 2 rows to this 4-foot wide raised bed, and we put the little seedlings in about every 3 inches. Now, something that you want to do right away after you plant your seedlings is to be sure you have a trellis ready to go. Because the plants have little tendrils that reach out and grab hold of something because they want to grow up. And they have to have, or else you'll have a mess. You'll have pea vines all over the ground. So you have to have something for them to latch onto to grow up. So we've made a trellis here. We've used some high tensile wire at the top, attached to a board that's attached to a T-post. And we built a lot of fence in our grass-fed beef operation, and we put up a lot of fences. So these are the tools we use for that, and I think it works good in the garden as well. But be sure that you've got your trellis ready right after you plant your peas, because they're going to need something to support them. And the peas start to grow in about 60 days. They'll have little blooms on them. And then from these little blooms, as they're pollinated, they set their little seed pod here, little pea. And then when they're big and fat, like this one, then they're ready to harvest. And you can pick this pea straight from the vine. We hadn't sprayed with any chemicals or hadn't splashed any dirt up on it. So that's something good to eat straight from the garden. And you eat, on sugar snaps, you can eat the pod and all. The little seed inside is not real big, not real mature, but it's, but you can see them here. But you want to pick it while they're still young. And you can see the little peas in this, but you're eating the pod and all, which makes this a very nutritious vegetable. It's good for you. I always like to say it's good for your soul and it's good for your body. You know, the Lord put us in the garden to start with, and it's just something about the fulfillment you get from growing some of your own food and eating it fresh from the garden. It just fills your soul as well as gives you nutrition as well. But these peas, it's about the middle of May now, and they've been producing for a few weeks, couple weeks, and they will harvest more of these tomorrow. We have a 50 family CSA on our farm. That's community supported agriculture, and it's like a subscription. They pay a fee and they get a share out of our garden every week. And so this week they'll be getting a share, which will be about half a pound or so of these peas in their bag, along with 6 other vegetables coming out of the garden this week. The pea is real productive and very nutritious, and if you have a chance and to grow some, I would encourage you to add that to your garden. Thanks.